So today I had a video idea that it's not news, it's not the usual stuff, it's actually just, I saw some stuff in a museum about fish and I had to dig into it because there are some terrifying things in the water around Maryland. But first I had a quick story to tell. So I'm at a campsite right now. You may be like, oh, where's the beach? I'm in my cabin. This is my cabin. There's a door here and everything. And the bathroom, this cabin doesn't have one. You have to go to a local bathroom that's like out there somewhere. And so I had the worst shitting experience I've ever had in my life. I was in the stall, doing what I do, and when I got to the end, I didn't really pay much mind to it until the very end that there was an industrial grade fan blowing air into the entire stall and all the ones next to me. For some reason, I guess they're trying to dry the floor. But anyway, when you mix an industrial grade fan and toilet paper that is only a quarter ply, like I could see through it. It was like looking through a mirror, like a glass. There was nothing there. When I tried to use it, it's blowing around the stall like a goddamn Looney Tunes tornado. Like it looked like Tasmanian Devil. And so I'm doing the Konami code, trying not to stick my finger in my butthole, and that was a terrible, I got out of there a changed man. That was bad, but that's not, I got a little off track. So the story today regards the spooky fish in Maryland. So I went to a museum recently in Assateague, and Assateague's a beach near me. I don't want to see a single ass joke in chat. It doesn't make sense. It's a beach. It's been a beach. I've known it since I was a kid. So you're like, hey, what's Assateague? Shut up. But anyway, so I was in the museum and I was looking at all the different fish, and I saw this little guy. I'm gonna call him Smelvin. He's a sheep's fish or sheep's head or something like that, and I like him. He's cute. I also saw this guy, and he doesn't have. I didn't see the fish's name. I didn't really look, so I'm gonna call him Gort. That's his name. But lo and behold, I see the most disgusting thing I've ever graced my eyes across. This thing. Some of you may have seen it before. It's called a flatfish, and we know it exists. We've seen this in octonauts or whatever. But my question is, who allowed this thing to evolve that way? Who allowed it to get to that point? Because this dude, he could have just swam like a normal fish and ate his food like he does. But this dude decided to lay down on the ground and go, just snap his neck and look up at the air. Why? His mouth isn't even facing the right direction. He's still mid-evolution. It's going like this. It just isn't right. That was mean. It was kind of mean. But anyways, this inspired me to go down a rabbit hole of other terrifying creatures located in my glorious state. And we're starting with the one that I know the most, which is the horseshoe crab. He's cute, right? He looks normal. Now, look at this other picture of him. He's quite handsome. I put a bow tie on him, give him a little pat on the head, maybe hug him. Well, flip him over and you get this. Yeah. Good luck sleeping tonight. And we have a portal. We have a nether portal under his chest. And that's what crabs look like. So it's not exactly a giant surprise, but it's kind of terrifying when you don't really expect it. Me being knowledgeable of crabs as the Marylander I am, since I eat them and have a better flag than you, every other state. I'm talking to you, Virginia. But this inspired me to go down a rabbit hole of all the terrifying creatures located in the ocean around me. And I was not disappointed. The first one I was introduced to is called the Northern Stargazer. You want to look at him? I'm going to take him off the screen for you because that is a terrifying piece of work. Why is there an anglerfish in shallow waters? That exists in shallow waters, by the way. I could step on that by mistake. That thing. That looks like a Doom creature. It looks like something I'd have to fight as the Doom guy. Why? If you don't know what an anglerfish is, a little dude with the light bulb that almost killed Nemo in Nemo. You know, that movie. But anyway, yeah, it sits on the bottom of the ocean and apparently just waits for shrimp and crabs to walk by and just murks them with takes their Fortnite reboot card. But still, why does that exist? Why can't you go to the deep ocean and hang with your cousins? That's just wrong. Stop doing this. The next creature in our creature feature is this thing. You'd be like, Evan, that's just a crab with huge testicles. No, that's actually a loxoparasite inside of a crab's dead body, piloting it. Kind of like what you'd see in The Last of Us. So Pedro Pascal, if he was in an alternate reality, would look like this. A crab with huge nuts. But yeah, that's another wonderful thing. Apparently they exist in Maryland and are near, around. Because crabs don't go deep in the water. They're not well, there are deep sea crabs, but the crabs that it is latched onto, especially the one in this image, they're not deep sea creatures. So that's if you step on a crab with huge nuts, that's not a crab. That's a parasite piloting a crab. You should eat it so it can pilot you. I mean, I go with a parasite piloting me any day. I prefer that over having to live in this Wi-Fi-less cabin. It's a nice cabin, though. Here, you want a tour real quick? Here, quick chore. We got my sister's bed. We got my bed. I got the bunk bed. I'm dripping, by the way. And then we got the main room, which is literally just my mom's bed and this kitchen. Yeah, I know. We're living large. Oh, my goodness. People in Hollywood are probably jaw on the floor like, whoa, 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 whoa. I actually checked my viewer dynamic recently, and I realized that there is over, like, 4 or 5, like, one of my highest viewed demographics is people in LA. Which my question is, why are you watching me? You have celebrities literally living outside your house, and you're watching me. This is a guy with, like, 2,800 subscribers. What are you doing? And if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe so I can be one of those celebrities one day. And then I saw on this website with other scary Maryland fish, of course, there's this thing, which you're welcome. Have fun sleeping tonight. That's just a worm. That's just a worm. It's not even like a centipede or something. Those aren't legs. That's just hairs. It's bristles. I hate that. But then there was this. He's cute. He's kind of handsome, actually. The mummichog. You know what his scary trait is? He can survive. He just survives seasons. So I guess it's normal for fish to die the second the temperature drops below 10 degrees of its normal. So that's fun. And, you know, actually, what's funny is the reason I was inspired to make this video was because I saw a video about a fish called a stonefish. I didn't know that this was a thing, but it's a fish that lives on land. Yeah, that's right. They're starting to evolve. They're coming for your jobs. Please watch out. But anyway, the stonefish is quite beautiful. And I'm going to show you a quick snippet of a video that I saw on Twitter of it. It's a screen recording, so I apologize if the audio is worse than the audio you're hearing from me right now, considering my phone is more than 2 feet from my face. But yeah, it's terrifying. So here, take a look at that, and then come back to me, please. Please, for me. And then like the video, you better.
This fish is perfectly fine being out of the water for extended periods of time because they've adapted the ability to actually hold water in their gills. It's not uncommon to see stonefish just laying on the rocks in these tide pools. All right, so I brought with me a piece of neoprene. I'm going to use this piece of neoprene to simulate skin so I can show you what would happen if you stepped on the stonefish. Its venom into the wound created by its spine. That's why people who are envenomated and step on these stonefish end up in such a bad situation. It's not only that it's the most toxic venom, it's that you also get the most volume. Look at how sharp that spine is. These top two guys, ready? There they go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Look at that. And it's like blue. Holy cow, look at how much venom just came out of that fish. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that is what would be inside of your foot if you were to step on a stonefish.
Wasn't that fun? Yeah, first of all, I don't like that Walter White's blue meth is in his little horns there. That's just wrong. I don't like that at all. But imagine you step on a rock and the rock ends up being the equivalent of stepping on like heroin needles at the beach. That shouldn't be relatable. I'm sorry. That's wonderful. A stonefish. I don't like that. There's another fish that comes out of the water. I don't have a video of it or a picture of it, and I have no internet. I have to walk like down the street to be able to get a picture of it online. But it's the one that like gets on land and just kind of like walks. It has like legs. I don't like that fish are starting to walk on land. I feel like they should take the route of what crabs do. Which, for those of you unaware, did you know that crabs, for some reason, keep evolving into the shape of a crab? Like, there are a lot of crab species that have no relation to each other. They just happen to all evolve the same way, which essentially means that crabs are peak evolution. There's no better evolution than a crab shell. So if anything, I would just jump to it. I'd start evolving into a crab if I were you, because that's the same with trees. Yeah, I'm going to go on a random evolution rant real quick. Did you know that a lot of trees are unrelated? You know that the cherry blossom tree and then some other type of cherry blossom tree are one is more related to grass than the other cherry blossom tree? Did you know that? Why? Why are things evolving into trees? There are like thousands of different types of trees and none of them are related. Why? Like, apparently all plants just want to grow bark and get really tall, which makes sense. They want to reach sunlight. But yeah, and then crabs. That one, I guess, also makes sense. They're like living tanks. Yeah, so maybe trees and crabs are just where we aspire to be one day. We came from the ocean and one day we shall return. So yeah, that's about it for now. I wanted to make this video because I thought it was really silly to talk about, and I didn't really have any new news to talk about because I have no access to the Wi-Fi and I'm living like the Amish. So I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. This is a threat. I will attack you with this keyboard that I don't even need because my laptop doesn't connect to the internet. But anyway, thank you for being here. And as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. And yeah, that's it. Get out. Evolve into a crab, you freak.